If you are too tired, too burned out, overwhelmed, or scared to work on your business and not just in it, then you're doing it all wrong. Ooh, ouch, Tara. And on today's episode, I'm going to be giving you tips from successful Lashpreneurs on what you should be doing instead, because success leaves clues. And today I'm sharing you some clues from the successful. I get it. Wanting to pivot, maybe even quit, and find an easier way to make a living are all just par for the course of being an entrepreneur. If you haven't experienced wanting to quit as an entrepreneur, it's coming down the pipeline because we all go through it. It's just part of entrepreneurship. And I don't know a single successful business owner who hasn't at least 2 or 3 times a year, maybe even a month, that happens, have felt like quitting and using their genius to benefit somebody else's dream because it just seems simpler. Because entrepreneurship is not natural. It's not. For some of us, we're just born to do it. Once you stumble into entrepreneurship, you can't believe that you ever did anything else. And some of you, it's going to be constantly an uphill battle and a struggle the entire time because you're just not naturally inclined to do it. Doesn't mean you can't find success. It just may not be as fulfilling for some people as it is for others. You know, what we are taught in school is what we now term as common sense. Things like wait your turn, raise your hand, ask permission, stand in line, be on time, leave when you're told to. These are all the lessons that we learn in modern society school, and they're teaching us to be fantastic employees. And for those of you that have dared into entrepreneurship, you're likely struggling because this is how you were taught. That's all you've ever known. And now you have to unlearn all of that in order to have a fulfilling and successful business and to really enjoy entrepreneurship. The things that made you a great and successful employee are working against you as an entrepreneur. So those same behaviors of pay your dues, raise your hand, ask permission, work harder than anybody else to get to the level of success that you want, that's what's making you miserable and probably pretty unsuccessful as an entrepreneur. But never fear, my friend. I'm going to share with you some top tips for cleansing yourself of the old employee mindset and getting you to move forward to being a successful and happier entrepreneur. Because if we're successful and we're miserable, then what's the point? So the first point I want to cover is setting healthy business boundaries for yourself. So boundaries around your business. A lot of entrepreneurs will spend the first few years, sometimes even few decades, hustling. That seems to be a very catchy, flashy word that those that have to justify how much they're working, that it's all going to pay off in the long run. That's not always the case. In fact, I want to say that the hustle is probably going to burn you out before you ever reach success. If it were true that if you work harder than anybody else, that you'll be successful, wouldn't you already have those results? Aren't you already working hard enough? So it doesn't necessarily mean A equals B, as in I work harder, I make more, right? Because then all you would have to do is make more and more, but we only have so many hours in the day that we can work. I don't know about you, but I didn't sign up to be an entrepreneur to work 24 hours a day. In fact, I signed up to be an entrepreneur to work less hours than I would as an employee somewhere else and have an unlimited income potential. That's kind of the game that we're playing as entrepreneurs. So this idea that you're going to sacrifice time with your family, that you're not going to have a social life, that you're just going to be head down on a computer, just typing away all day long or on your phone for hours on end. I don't think that's what most of you envisioned as what a successful entrepreneur would be. So having healthy boundaries around when is work time and when is non-work time, because you don't have a boss there to say, hey, I'm not going to continue to pay you after 8 hours. You need to stop. Otherwise, you're just volunteering. But when you're your own business owner, nobody's there to tell you that. So you're going to constantly keep working, thinking, if I just get to this level, then I will be successful. And I just need to work hard until I reach this level. But I can promise you, and as somebody who has gone through it myself, you will reach that level, not even know you've reached it, not celebrate it because you're so busy moving on to the next level. Because as entrepreneurs, we're always growing. We're always looking at for what's next because that's what excites us, is the growth and the journey. You can get to a destination and go into maintenance mode, but most entrepreneurs don't. In fact, I encourage you, once you do reach some sort of success in your business, that take a minute and celebrate and enjoy that feeling that you got there and that at one point seemed so impossible to get to. That's a big celebration. Having a balance in your business does not happen once you become successful. It starts today. Yeah, right now. Because the person who creates some version of success by hustling or by sacrificing so much of their personal life or just being miserable in their business but wanting to be successful, well, that same person is going to be there when you are successful. She's still going to be miserable, but at least then she'll be successful, right? But she's still miserable because it's really, and this leads me on to my next point, the inner work that needs to be done. And I'm going to demonstrate that with something that's called the be, do, have model. And this is something that I briefly touched on in podcasts before, but this is really the work of an entrepreneur, is the be, do, have. So how I describe that is that in order to be successful and the fulfilled version of you in your head, you have to start that now. You have to be that successful person now in your head in order to know what to do to move your business forward in order to have the successful business that you want. So it starts with you being the successful entrepreneur by the way that you approach life, the way that you show up in your business. That will give you the ideas and the things that you need to be doing in order to have the level of success that you want. Most people, when they're going from employment to entrepreneurship, get it backwards. They think that they need to have the successful first in order to know what to do to get that successful business, and then they will be that successful entrepreneur. So if I have a successful business, then I will know what to do in order to be successful. It really is backwards, but that is how most people approach it. Most of you, let's just say, have you ever had the thought process of, if I just had the money first, then I would learn how to market my business, and then I would be the confident business owner because I would have an influx of leads coming in. But I have to have the money first, or I have to have something first in order to do the things I want to do and be the person I want to be. Some of you, society members, I'm talking to you, but I've seen this a lot in Lash Artist forums as well. An example that comes up a lot is if I have someone else do my marketing for me, right? Like, can't I just hire a social media manager to do my marketing? If I have a social media manager, then I don't have to do the work, and then I will be the successful business owner, right? Because I'll have somebody else doing my marketing. How about being a successful marketer first so that you know what to do to create successful marketing and to create demand for your products and services, and then you can have somebody come in and execute what you have created. Because nobody's going to know how to market your business if you don't know how to market it first. Any startup has to know who it is that they're talking to, their ideal target markets. They have to know what makes them unique and different in the marketplace. And then they have to know the benefits and results that they get their customers. And no social media manager is going to come in and figure that out for you. You have to figure that out first, tell them, and then they can create marketing imagery, captions, all of that jazz once you know what that is. But that is your task as the business owner. And bonus tip here, real Lash CEOs don't hire someone to solve a problem. They hire someone to execute the solution to a problem. Ooh, knowledge nuggets right there. Hold on, I'm going to say that again. Real Lash CEOs don't hire someone to solve a problem. They hire someone to execute the solution. And where does the solution come from? The real Lash CEO. You, my friend. Yes, you create the solution. And in order to do that, that leads me to my final point. You have to make the time and the time to focus on the right things in your business that are going to move your business forward. You are the CEO. We've already talked about you have a finite amount of time to work. So your energy needs to be put in things that are actually going to drive the business forward, that are actually going to produce results and revenue. So that means countless hours on social media is an epic waste of a CEO's time. If you in your head are the successful version of you, how much time are you really spending on social media? Start to do that now, have boundaries around social media now, so that you can have that balance with the business, that you're on social media for business, and then you get off so that you're not on your phone all day. Because quite frankly, who wants to be on their phone all day? I love connecting with my audience. My business is online. I run an entire multi-six-figure business from my phone, but I put my phone down by 4 p.m. every single day, because the reason I started my business is I wanted more time for my kids. But if I'm on my phone all the time and my kids are around, that's not really what I wanted. The successful version of Tara is somebody who is present. My version of happiness is that I'm able to be present in every aspect of my life. So if I'm working, I am focused and present on work. When my kids come home, work goes away. This is why I had to move out of my house for a long time, because I couldn't escape from work when it was in my house. I used to work out of like the room that was next to my kitchen. Now I have my own office in here, and I love it because I can close the door and lock it. But I could not focus on my kids and be present with my kids when work was always pulling me, because I could see it in my house and it was attached to my hand. I put my phone down. I don't work at night unless I'm feeling inspired, because sometimes the creativity just comes when it comes. But I am doing the be, do, have model. If I want to be the successful Tara that is not just successful as a business owner, but that's also successful as a parent and a wife, that means I need to have the boundaries around my business so that it doesn't overtake these other aspects of my life that are so important to me. Because Tara is not just the Lashpreneur, and Tara is not just a mom, and Tara is not just a wife. I am all three, and each three of those things are equally, maybe business a little bit less, but equally as important to me to be able to be present in. And so I want that for you too, but that means you have to be intentional about your time and not get distracted, sideswiped, hijacked, any of those words will do, on things like social media, that at a certain point, social media starts to bleed into the personal. Whether you're getting filled personally by looking at, pretty lash sets on there, or even feeling insecure about yourself because somebody's set is prettier than yours, or you're just not at that level, or you think that you have to be at, fully booked in order to be validated as a lash business owner. That's not constructive. That's not a good use of your lash CEO time. So think about, what is the time that I need to spend on social media that is positively benefiting my business, because it is used as a marketing platform. And at what point does that start to go into not a good use of my time, and set yourself a boundary there. You have to make the time to learn how to do the things that business owners do. Success leaves clues. So look at the successful CEOs around you, the successful business owners around you. Are they spending 3, 4, 5 hours a day on social media or on their phone? Likely not. They're likely investing their time into learning the areas that they need to be strengthened in, so that they can then hire somebody else to then go do that, because they've figured it out. They've come up with a solution to their problem, and they've outsourced it. So if that's learning accounting, you need to know the basics of accounting at a minimum in order to then hire an accountant and know whether they're screwing you over or not. Hi, I've been screwed over by an accountant and I was trying to learn accounting. But you need to know the basics of whether your business is profitable or not, so that you can know whether you can pay yourself this month or not, so that you know if you can keep the lights on in the house and feed your family or not. But you have to know the basics first. You also need to learn how to market yourself, because you can't hire anybody else to do it for you until you know how to do it with success. Because otherwise, you're just spending a lot of money on trying to pay somebody else to figure something to do, and you're likely going to be paying them more than you pay yourself. And you have to be able to get a return, especially on marketing, on your investment, which means that you need to know how to gauge those results first before you bring somebody into your business to pay them. For those of you that want to bring on staff because you're fully booked, you're hiring someone to solve a problem for you. But guess what? When you hire on staff, you don't get any more time. I promise you that. They're not going to come in just like you, fabulous lash artists, take your clients off your hands so that you can go have a cocktail. It doesn't work that way. You need to create the time first so that you can train them to become a wonderful lash artist, to create a culture where they don't want to take their skills and run, and they actually want to stay and work for you. Not everybody wants to be a CEO. Not everybody wants to run a business. And it's your role as the entrepreneur, as the business owner, to find those candidates that want to work for a great company and have that stability that working for someone else can provide. So if you want a business that you love and that actually pays you well, that lights you up inside, that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning and affords you the freedom and lifestyle you dreamed of when you got this crazy idea to become a business owner, then you have got to set those healthy business boundaries of when is work time and when is off time. You have got to do the inner work that is holding you back from being the successful version of you that you so desperately want to be, and that you know is possible. And you can no longer make excuses or blame your circumstances as to why your business can't, won't, or isn't successful. And you have to make the time to work on your business and not just in it. And this, my friends, is why we are bringing back our most popular and most requested video series called Your Best Year Ever. And it kicks off September 23rd, 2019. So mark your calendars. Go ahead right now, swipe up to go over to your calendar app. The podcast should still play if you're watching it on, or if you're listening on a podcast, and mark September 23rd. That's when we release the video series. It's a totally free workshop, and I'll be teaching inside of this workshop where you should be focusing on your business so that you can work on your business and stop wasting time on the activities that aren't moving your business forward, which should get you some more momentum. Like if you know the things that you should be focusing on, that's going to move your business forward. I'm going to be teaching you how to make more money in your lash business so that you can, and which money-making strategies are appropriate for you to focus on now, because there's various different strategies, but you can't work all three. There's one that is a perfect fit for you, and I'm going to teach you all three strategies, and you will know which one you need to focus on from the video series. And then the Lash Artist Success, Path to Success, I'm going to teach you the step-by-steps to building a business that you love and that other lash artists have followed with success is step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And then the number one way you can do all of this faster, easier, and with a lot less stress. I have poured my heart and soul into this video workshop series. I'm sharing some amazing tips, and I would love for you to join me. So mark your calendar, September 23rd. And if you want to be notified when we release these videos, because you will need to register for them, completely free, but you can do so and get an email notification of when we release the videos by going to the lashpreneur.com/society and signing up with your email to get a notification of when we do release these video series. They will only be up for a limited time. So September 23rd, mark your calendar. September 23rd, I'm going to say it one more time. Say it with me now. September 23rd is when these videos are being released. I can't wait to dive in with you. I will see you there. Have a good one.